Everybody and welcome back to the FM23 Youth Academy Guiseley save, and it's the start of a new season, which is always exciting, isn't it? What formation are we playing? Who have we sold? What players have come and gone? Well, we've signed nobody because this is a Youth Academy save, and if you don't understand that, it's probably because you're like 117 episodes behind, so this probably isn't the best one to start with. But welcome in if you are new. Leave a like and subscribe, and leave me a comment down below about how you found this series. Anyone, leave that comment. That would be lovely. Right, let's go and have a look. Yes, hello everybody. Welcome back to FM23, and we are Guiseley. And weirdly, we've come back on the first game of the season, because it's been a while since we've done this, and I've got a new formation, which I sort of touched on in you knew that was coming. You knew that was coming with what I said in the intro. We've got a new formation. Pre-season has gone very well. You can see 2 scores in the top right, top left, maybe. I don't know which way around this goes. It's up there, I think, up there somewhere. Yes, 8-4. We beat FC20 away from home, and we've beat Besiktas 5-1 as well. What we've done is we've set up a system which suits our best 11 players. So when one of those 11 players is out, the system falls down. But when they're all available, it looks pretty good. So we'll go and look at it first. No, we'll do transfers first because there is some action happening. So on the outs, we've sold goalkeeper Johnny Craggs, who got a bit of attention from Man United, Man City, Liverpool a couple of points a few seasons ago. Sort of bottomed out in his development. Wasn't getting the football for us that he needed. We've got Carlos Victoriano as well, who's our backup goalkeeper to Jan Petric. So Craggs wasn't really playing. He's moved 500k to Bournemouth, but we've put a very hefty sell-on fee in there because I think someone like Man United, Man City are gonna tap him up as a homegrown backup goalkeeper. And I want to be a part of that. I want that profit. So yeah, Johnny Craggs has left for Bournemouth. The other one, Ryan Marshall, £1.5 million to Crystal Palace. Again, we've put in quite a hefty sell-on clause. He wasn't anywhere in my thoughts about a first-team player. And I think when you're in a youth academy save, when you're like 18, 19 and you're not near the first team, I think we're all right to sell you. So he could be really good. He's got very high potential ability. His current ability is not really there at the moment. But he could be really good. We've cashed in for 1.5 million and a hefty sell-on fee. I don't think he's really going to develop technically enough to do anything in the Premier League. So yeah, we might regret it, but we might not. But Ryan Marshall's gone. And then a bit more cash at the end of last year. Lee Bevan was sold to Bolton under-21s. Again, another one. He's 20. He wasn't anywhere really near our first team. Spent last 2 seasons out alone in League One, where he didn't do very well for Rochdale. So we've got rid of Lee Bevan. A small little fee, but a sell-on as well with that one. That was, how much was Bevan? Like 100 and something K? 160k, potentially rising to 500. So yeah, we'll have to see how that one goes. And then, of course, we've had quite a bit of a clear out in terms of players. We've let quite a few people go this year. Last year, we only let 4 go, but this year we let a few more youngsters go that just weren't going to make it, to be honest. And then, of course, all the loans that we always send out. Main ones, I guess, Mark Mead. We've sent him out on loan to try and get some first-team football, see if he can hit that potential ability of his, because he does look like he could be pretty good. He played a couple of games in pre-season. But again, we've got Jan Petric and Carlos Victoriano who are above him in the pecking order. So we thought get him some first-team football. Anthony Amuzu, another goalkeeper who's gone out on loan as well. First-team football, again, looks like he could be pretty good. So want him to get some game time in. Just touching on the under-18s then. I've been just messing with the training and stuff. I've gone into tactics. That's our new system. Spoilers. I've been messing around with tactics and training to make sure everyone's training as I want them to be. But yeah, it's left our under-18s a little bit thin on the ground, but they generally are good talents coming through. We've got a couple of 3 stars in here as well, but I don't mind having this sort of number in the under-18s. It means they're all getting that game time in the under-18s, which is useful. And as you can see, this is it. There's no one out on loan. We're being very restrictive for our loans this year to see what could happen. So that'll be interesting. The under-21s are in a similar position. They've got a couple of people out on loans, but it's a small squad that we're keeping for this team. The reason we let Mark Mead go is we've got 2 other goalkeepers who can play for the under-21s. Leighton Farr can also still play for the under-18s, so technically that is 2 goalkeepers there as well. But yeah, a small selection of players to get quite a lot of game time is how we're going with it this season, and I'm hoping that it works out, because obviously they've been playing really well. Now, they are playing our new system in the under-18s and the under-21s as well, which looks like this. A sort of lopsided 4-2-3-1. It gets the best out of our best players generally. I'll try and talk it through it, right? Obviously, let's start from the back and move forward. So, a sweeper keeper, we're playing a standard line, so he'll just be sweeping up balls that come over the top. Jan Petric and Carlos Victoriano can do it reasonably well, but all of our goalkeepers are always trained to be sweeper keepers. It just, I think it enhances more attributes than just the ones to train as a normal goalkeeper. Complete wing back on the right, 2 ball playing defenders, and then a complete wing back on attack on the left. I think the one on the left makes perfect sense because there's no one in front of him, so we want him to get forward and fill up here. The 2 ball players are just Football Manager this year. If you're not playing ball playing defenders at centre back, then you're missing out because they're so much better than normal centre backs. And the complete wing back on the right, because complete wing backs again are generally better to use rather than just a wing back or a full back, because complete wing backs, well, I don't know if you look on it right, roam from position is the key one. He'll drift in, not just up, he'll drift in as well, and you'll see it in the match engine. And because we've got this gap, I don't mind him sort of drifting in here as well as pushing up, so that's why we've got this over here again. And the attacker can go straight up, they can drift in here and play sort of like another central midfielder. It just gives a bit more versatility to the back line and to get more players breaking through the lines and things like that. So the deep line playmaker on defend sits in this role, hold position, dribble less, move the ball. We've got some very good passers in midfield. This is probably the role we can fill with quite a large number of people. It's probably the least affected role if our first choice gets injured in that position. So that'll be really interesting. And what we're trying to do is get the wing back to sort of link with that playmaker. So as the wing back pushes up, the playmaker holds its position, so it still sort of feels like a back 4 or at least a back 3 with one sitting in the middle to give a bit more defensive shape, which is good. A ball winner chasing around trying to get the ball back. Weirdly, our best ball winner in the club is Andrew Neeson, who has tackling of 7. But his energetic work rate, his physicals, his mental stats, everything like that makes him an amazing ball-winning midfielder, according to our assistant anyway, and our assistant's very good at judging players. And he's done all right in pre-season there, to be honest, but he does give us versatility to allow us to push forward and attack as well. So the deep line playmaker holds position, allows the wing back to push on, the ball-winning midfielder does his little role in here to try and win everything back. The advanced playmaker drops a little bit to try and pick the ball up, which creates space for the winger. The shadow striker to run into channels up here, around there, in and about. Basically, the shadow striker gets out of the way of the complete wing back. And then a deep line forward on attack. Sometimes I may change that to a complete forward if we're lacking a bit of a focal point, if it looks like he's dropping a bit too deep to get the ball. But again, in pre-season, it worked pretty well. The deep line forward moving into channels, takes a few more risks, but does also hold up the ball to try and get others into play. The shadow striker, we're just using at the moment the standard individual instructions on people. And my shadow striker is one of my favourite roles on FM23. I think the runs they make are very clever. They do a really good job. And yeah, I'm intrigued to see how it gets on in the league, because in pre-season, it was pretty good. I mean, we lost 5-1 in our first pre-season game to Man City, who have got some news that we'll touch on in a minute as well. But we played our 4-2-2-2-2 system, which against the big teams just gave up so much space on the wings that we really got punished. We then went on our tour of Singapore. We started with our strikerless system where we won 2 games back-to-back 3-0, and then I really took my time to think about this shape and this tactic and how we want to get it to work. And results of that, we got our last game of the pre-season tour in Singapore. We beat Tampines 5-2. Then we went away to Aldershot, our feeder team, beat them 3-1. And then this is where we sort of really started thinking about how to set up certain roles and who to use where. And we went to Fenerbahce and beat them 7-0, which quite frankly is ludicrous. We went to Alanyaspor as well, or Fenerbahce came to us and we beat them 7-0. We went to Turkey and played Alanyaspor, beat them 2-0, and then went to Holland and beat FC23 8-4 in a very entertaining game. They scored, I think, 3 of their goals, or maybe 2 of their goals, after we had made a whole raft of substitutions. And we beat Besiktas at home 5-1. So I would argue Besiktas, Fenerbahce and FC20 are teams that are generally always in Europe from their divisions. Maybe not so much FC20, but yeah, I was happy with the results and I thought, let's keep this train rolling and come back and take on Southampton straight away, and we're going to see how we get on. So we are going to take on Southampton. That might have been a bit of a weird cut because I think my computer was processing in the background and paused my video, but I'll see what it looks like in the edit. So if it looks a bit weird, this is why. I'll put a big sweep across the screen or something so that it looks better, even though it will sound pretty shit. But yeah, first off, Newcastle beat Middlesbrough on the opening day of the season 5-0. Spurs are up there again, getting a good win against Man United 5-2. Liverpool, West Ham 1-1, so they're going to be sitting 6th and 7th. Leeds beat Wolves, Fulham and Bolton drew, Chelsea beat Aston Villa after getting a man sent off early on as well, and Man City beat Everton 2-0. So I'm intrigued by this one. It could be make or break for a new system, right? When you start you come into a season full of hope, you have a new tactical system that you've worked quite hard on during pre-season training, and this is where it all comes to a head to see if it works. So we're going to go with what will be our strongest 11. I think everybody's fit. Mosameti is still in the first team. I could drop him down. I could say don't go out on loan and drop down to the youth team, but I feel like going out on loan and getting first team football at Roda JC, our feeder club, would be very useful. Yeah, we'll send him back to Holland and he can have a season of football back there. So on the right hand side, we'll be starting Brian Dyson. He is very athletic, not great at defending, but is good going forward. We also have Loic Nijhuisen, who's going to be getting into the first team a little bit more this season, which is good. The centre-backs are... Have I got unavailable on here? I do have unavailable on, so it's not actually showing. Supreme Dave is suspended. There he is. Kennedy Joseph, who I was looking for. So Kennedy Joseph and John Carpenter are going to be at the back. And on the left-hand side, stepping up from the youth teams is Kai Harding, which I'm very excited about. He did a very good job in pre-season playing this more advanced wing-back role. The deep-line playmaker at the back is Atley Berge, is going to be playing in there as our starting playmaker. Connor signed a new contract. He's still here, 33. Signed to another 2-year deal to the age of 35. I'm really hoping he retires at the club because it would be amazing to have a Patreon come all the way through from the youth academy to retirement. Obviously, it happened with Scott Lloyd, the goalkeeper, but we haven't had it with a Patreon yet. So, Connor, we gave you a new 2-year deal to stay. You were happy that I'd improved the club atmosphere after it was looking a bit down. Andrew Neeson in the ball-winning midfield role. It's... From my point of view, it's very exciting because now we're getting a lot more Patreons into the club as they're developing, which is like into the first 11, which is absolutely great. Although saying that, the doc still starts on the right-hand side, Carl Kennedy. As our advanced playmaker, we go with... I can't remember who we play here now. It's... Is it Alphakoff? It is Alphakoff, yes, with his passing and technique 17. In the shadow, well, up front is obviously Crimson Mori playing as the deep line forward. And then we play... Who do we play? I can't remember who we play in the... This is embarrassing, isn't it? Was it Gareth Earl? No, Gareth Earl's on the bench as the backup winger. Oh, I think it is Andrew Burgess that we play there because he's got some decent... Yeah, off the ball, finishing, and his pace is good. Yes, so that's who we play at Shadow Striker. I knew it in there somewhere. On the bench then, we're going to go with Balinese balance on Jake Mills, Gareth Earl, Phil Lewis is going on the bench. Lukemi goes on the bench as well. Goldson goes on the bench as the ball winner. We'll have Bernard Sanusi, Loic Nijhuisen, and we don't need a goalkeeper on the bench. So we're going to go with Iago Thal is going to go on the bench as well, because that's right back. Sanusi can play... Oh, I prefer to have... No, we're not. Jeff Hogg, because I prefer to have an out-and-out left-back on there. Right, let's get into it then and see how we get on against Southampton. Away from home, first game of the season, Southampton finished European places, I think, just below the European places last season, so it could be an interesting one. But I think we're going to start with, let's go cause an upset. We're going to start the season with encouragement. That's what we're going to try and do in this one. Again, I'm in 2D because that's how I play when I'm off camera. So let's go TV view. Yeah, we'll stick on key highlights because I've been waffling on enough in this episode anyway. Replays on, goals only. That's all we want. Right, here we go then. So let's see how we get on. As you can, I'm pretty sure white is actually Southampton because we're in our yellow kit. So Southampton starting the game with a bit of domination, which is rare. We haven't seen that during our pre-season as Lawler swings in a free kick. That is too quick, isn't it? That is just far too quick. Let's get that down a little bit onto slightly faster. Lawler picks it up. He's going down the left-hand side, shoots, and Jan Petrick can't keep it out. And Georgie Lawler has rifled in an effort with his left foot there. And that's unexpected, I would say. I feel like Jan Petric should have saved that. We may be having... I had that... what sort of free kick is this, right? What free kick have you ever seen in your life where a free kick's here, they take it to the edge of the box, who nods it back to the taker? Never. You'll never see that in football. But, yeah, good finish. A rifled finish is what you would call that, I think. 20 minutes in, we find ourselves 1-0 down with our new system. As this isn't the right view. This is what's putting me off. Sideline, that's what I want. Into Hawkins, into Dejan. Dejan back to Hawkins. Hawkins gets around the tackler, Dyson. I mean, the Premier League teams that we play against are, oh my word, Jan Petric just completely ignored that one and it hit the bar. As I feel like this might be a bit too slow now. Oh my God, we dive into a tackle there as well. Groff swings it in, Joseph heads it away. Yeah, that's a little bit too slow. Let's go for that one. Obviously the Premier League teams we play against are a little bit of a step up compared to maybe Fenerbahce and Besiktas. But again, it's just beating the teams that we're going to be around us, as Burgess does well. Outer Burgess robbed. And Hodgson comes forward with it into Panchenko, which is an amazing name. Crump into Panchenko again. Dejan into Bestian. That's well read by Kai Harding. Kai Harding into Neeson. Neeson up to Alfakov. Into Burgess. All the way back to John Carpenter. Don't mind that. Burge. Into Burgess again. Good little drag there. Tries to put it through the gap to Crimson Mori, but can't find it. Great tackle back from Crimson Mori, though. And Andrew Burgess from the edge tries to curl it. It's over the bar. But better. A bit more positive there. Actually creating a chance. And getting Southampton on the back foot a little bit. 36 minutes gone. We've got... No one's playing dreadfully, so we're doing all right. Alfakov swings it in. Kennedy on the volley! The dock is in. Carl Kennedy. The referee's checking something. I have no idea why. Because it was a corner. And it's fallen straight to Carl Kennedy's feet. And he's fired it in past the goalkeeper. And it's been disallowed. Absolutely unbelievable why that's been disallowed. And I don't have disallowed goal replays on, so we'll never see it. But I think we've had a tough injustice there in the world. Look, I want a much better display in the second half here, chaps. I want a much, much better display. Again, no one's playing dreadfully. There's no like 6.2s or anything, so let's keep going for the time being. We can up it to positive and change a few of the roles around if needs be, but again, we're restricting Southampton a little bit. And yeah, I feel like we can be a bit aggrieved by that goal that was disallowed. It said Andrew Neeson was offside. I can only assume he was standing in front of the goalkeeper and impeding his view, maybe, or hindering his ability to get to the ball, but certainly didn't look like it. Kennedy, with that goal disallowed, as Dyson puts it over the top to find Carl Kennedy. Carl Kennedy's in. Carl Kennedy this time scores. That can't be disallowed. The dock is now in, and that is superb. What a finish, and Dyson's ball up the line was so good. Nice little 1-2. You love to see it as it flicks over the top. The defender's got no chance to get to that one. Carl Kennedy probably should have squared it, but went on his own and beat the goalkeeper to make it 1-1, and I think we'll use that opportunity to get some fresh legs on here, because we don't want our players getting tired. So Burge on a yellow card in that midfield will come off to be replaced by Phil Lewis. In fact, we're going to go for a double change, I think. In here, we're going to do Neeson off for Goldson is going to come on in there. That's what we're doing in pre-season. Harding a little bit tired, and that left wing spot is pretty crucial. So 3 subs to start with. It generally follows the same pattern, substitutions in Football Manager. It'll be your central midfielders if they're tired, and your fullbacks, because they're generally who get tired the most. But 20 minutes to go, 1-1. Yes, Southampton have had most of the game, but it's not been completely plain sailing for them. Brian Dyson's playing okay at the moment. He's not too tired. Crimson Mori up front is struggling a little bit, so we'll bring Gareth Earl on, and then that's just a little change of system we do to put him as an advanced forward, because he's got more pace, so we can run in behind on a bit of a counter-attack. I'm tempted to do Alfakov, but he is basically our best player for that role. He's one of the ones that you take him off and it all sort of falls apart because no one else has his passing ability. Now my head is saying do Brian Dyson, because I know that fullbacks are crucial in our system, but he's having a good game and he's not too tired. I don't really want to replace the centre-backs, although Kennedy Joseph isn't having a great game. It sort of does suggest to do Alfakov, right? But we're not going to do that. We're going to keep Alfakov on, and we're going to take Andrew Burgess off. Oh, no, what's the point in doing that? I might as well keep him that way around and just do Andrew Burgess off. Jake Mills coming on for this one. All of our substitutions done, and there is 15 minutes to go. Just give them a little shout of demand more, try and get a bit more out of them in the last 10 minutes. But again, away from home 1-1 on the first day of the season, I'm not going to be too upset. They've gone down to 10 men. I still think we take the 1-1. I mean, we'll go positive for the last 2 minutes. We'll go positive and see if we can get something against the 10 men. 5 minutes of time added on. I don't know what's going to... I'll take it. I'll take the 1-1 draw. 11 shots for them, 6 for us, 3 on target, 2 for us. We weren't amazing, but this is the point, right? Grind out results against teams like this that are better than us, and it will put us in good stead for the league. And that, we ended the game very strongly when they went down to 10, and I think we made good substitutions. The subs came on and didn't do too badly. Goldson getting a 6.5. But yeah, I'm proud. I am proud of that. I think we did well salvaging a draw. Good stuff, team. We come back to the news after the game that one of our very terrible youngsters has been poached by Watford. So Regan Forkus has been poached by Watford. He doesn't look like he was going to amount to very much ever, so that's fine. Speaking of which, have we got any other... There was one that that was Gavin Griffiths. Yeah, he was poached by Leeds. As soon as I can sell these clauses, I'm definitely going to do that. Yeah, so you can see Lee Bevan, road load of money. We've got a sell-on fee. Johnny Craggs, we've got a sell-on fee. Michael Griffiths got a sell-on fee. Joe Page got a sell-on fee. Ryan Marshall, sell on 50% of Ryan Marshall, by the way. Joe Page, it's sort of gone a bit downhill for you, mate, since you left, because Brentford haven't been playing you and you've just been shipped out on loan to Doncaster last season. So it's not always better, is it? It's not always better when you leave. You left on a free. Did you? Oh no, we sold you for 19.25 million. Cost so far 19.25k. Potential cost 10 million. Eh? What? That doesn't make sense. No, signed for 10 million. Yeah, hang on. What? Transfer history. When did we sell you, Joe? We sold you to Brentford. When did we sell you? Joe Page, Brentford, 10 million. There's definitely a way you can see potential cost 10 million. I am so confused right now. Transfer history. Clauses. Joe Page, 35% of the profit made in his next transfer will be owed by Guiseley. Signed for 10 million. It doesn't say what the clauses are for us to get that money, that 10 million. I'm not sure about that. That feels like a bit of a bug this late on in the game. But anyway, a good 1-1 draw against Southampton. We'll be ploughing through the season. We'll come back at some point, and then probably youth intake day, but we may come back beforehand if there's big games or big news or something like that. But we've got quite a bloated first team squad, but I think that's not necessarily a bad thing, because a number of these people can still drop down and help out the under-21s and the under-18s and stuff like that. So yeah, I don't mind it. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. I'll catch you in the next one, and it's been I'm really enjoying this series. It's been great fun. I don't think, for all those people asking in the comments, this won't carry on into 2024 FM24. And I'm probably not going to do a Youth Academy save next year. I will be doing a long-term save, definitely, because it's been great fun. But it probably won't. I feel like doing back-to-back Youth Academy saves on YouTube would be quite a killer of my love for Football Manager. So I think do this one, change the game up slightly, and maybe come back for it in FM25. We'll see. That's a long way away. But thank you so much for watching. I'll catch you in the next one. Cheers.